Ha! Looks like Murderbot just had its first ever hangover. We'll talk about that in a second. Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke and today we're talking about Chapter 8 of Exit Strategy. Yep, this is the fourth book in the Murderbot Diaries series. We've been doing chapter by chapter reactions and reviews. You can follow along and support the channel by checking out the description of this video. There's an Amazon link. Purchase the book, start from chapter 1. We did chapter by chapter reactions and reviews. Tell me what you think about it in the comments, and you can also support us by joining the membership. It's $2, and yes, it simply just buys me a cup of coffee and helps me continue to do full content. So let's get going. That was a hangover. That was a hangover. I think we can just assume that that's what happened there. Murderbot had a hangover, and it's actually like a perfect representation of it. It kind of takes 30 hours. You don't really know where you are. You're trying to piece together memories of what happened to you. It's kind of awesome. It's the first thing I thought about. I was like, man, I've had one of those. You kind of check in with your friends. Hey, what happened? What went down? What's going on? What are we doing? There's a couple of cool things that happened in this chapter also. I mean, I think the child, Mensah's child, the whole interaction about you saved my mother and my mother saved me, and did she tell you, and the description and editing the video of the fight scene in between the sec units and the combat sec unit and Murderbot, and Murderbot not telling the kid its name because it knew better. It was thoughtful. It was smart. The interaction with Pin Lee, with the currency cards and IDs, and it's like, yo, until you get your full memory back, you can't use these. But I'm giving these to you. You just have them. And Murderbot's like, all right, yeah, cool. Another cool thing is what Murderbot did to get to Mensah. First, it booked transport onto a ship, and then tried to use the ID cards, and no one was following it. It could completely trust our team. I thought that was cool. It watched a movie. It went and watched a Hollow movie. That was cool. I would do that. I would do that. And I would go to an airport and just sit there and watch a movie and wait 3 hours if I had to. There's a few other really interesting things that happened, but my favorite thing I think happened in this chapter so far is Murderbot Batmaning its way into Mensah's office and just standing there waiting for Mensah to drop in, because that's what Batman would do. It's a very Batman moment. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. We also find out that Murderbot doesn't like going to planets, which I get. Why would you? It's uneven terrain. There's no sex system. There's no way to track anything. It's completely alien, for lack of a better term. It's an interesting way to leave off this chapter. We also had the finale, right? It's not just that Murderbot has options. Murderbot is wanted. And it's wanted by the group from the third book to help it with a security matter, and it doesn't care that Murderbot is whatever Murderbot is. Doesn't matter to them. They just want the help, and they want it now. It's a pretty good little chapter. We get a hangover. We get some interactions with some of the crew from the first book that we haven't really seen. We also get a little glimpse into preservation's history and where it comes from and what they're kind of doing. It reminds me a lot of like Titan AE, a giant transport ship transporting colonists across the stars to find a new inhabitable area, and they just use that as their transit ring. It's kind of cool, interesting. And Murderbot's reaction is, oh, it's a creepy old ship. Similar to the environment that we see from like Titan AE versus the Fifth Element, which we've talked about. It's very interesting, very cool. So this is a pretty good little bookend for this book and kind of the series so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty good. We'll talk about that when we do the entire book review. But hey, I think this was a really, really solid closing chapter to an otherwise great book. This is probably my favorite book of the series. It's got 2 or 3 of my favorite chapters, including my favorite chapter, and including what I think is the best chapter. We're going to be talking about that in the review, and we'll make sure to read the books in the appropriate order. I've already seen the comments. It's true. there is an appropriate order apparently, and so we're going to do that. And then I also am excited because we're going to start a couple of new book series soon, and I know that it's not going to be anything that do with sci-fi. It's going to be fantasy. It's going to be some tall tales. We're going to try a few different things, and we're going to involve a few different people, and I'm really super excited about that. But enough on that. I think that's all I've got for you. Once again, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Buy the book. It'll help me out. Or just use the Amazon link to buy anything. It'll help us out. We'll be able to do some really cool things and have some different people on here, because I think my interpretation of the text is very nuanced, and I love nuanced content. And I want to support that nuanced content with inviting other people on. So thank you for watching if you've gotten this far, and I think that's it. So later, taters.